In this video, we will be plotting a cubic graph. So I chose 3 because since you all know there's a general equation for a cubic, even though A, B, C, D. So siyabona ukuthi ukhona A, ukhona B, ukhona C, D akekho. Lana ukhona A, B, C, D. Lana ukhona A no D, B no C abekho. So ngizokhombisa ukuthi how do we go about plotting or sketching them. Right, so first things first. Siqale ngale yokuqala. F of x is equal to x cubed minus 6x squared plus 9x. So mass plotter, we know what we have to find the x-intercept, the y-intercept, the turning points, and the point of inflection, right? And then we can plot. So for y-intercept, we must make x 0. So y-intercept, if x equals 0, because the whole thing will be 0, né? So y-intercept, it's 0 maybe 0. And then for x-intercept, we must make y above 0. So for now, for x-intercept, we change log y, simply replace with 0. Well, now x cubed minus 6x squared plus 9x. And then we have to solve for x. I'm x very small taller, you are my x-intercept. So since we don't have a constant, it's easy to solve. We just take out the common factor because we have x or gamma 10. So common factor is x. La phakathi kuzosala x squared lana kuyosala 6x la kuyosala bani 9. Then we have to factorize the brackets manje. La kuzoba x kubo x kubo 3 kubo 3 kubo minus. So you're more than welcome to use the quadratic formula to solve our answers one. So that means we have x which is equals to 0, x which is equals to 3, and x which is equals to 3. So x-intercept will be 0 map 0, 3 map 0, and then 3 map 0. So now let's go for a turning point. You know what, for a turning point we have to derive and then we equate the derivatives to 0. Because where there is a turning point, the gradient is 0. And we know what the first derivative is the same as the gradient. Hence we derive and then we make the gradient equals to 0. So let's derive, must derive as well of f prime at x, which will equal to 3x squared minus 12x plus 9. Then we make it derivative about 0. Then we have to solve for x. Must solve for x lapha, we can first maybe divide by 3. So that's so it is simple. But you can factorize unje. Must divide them with 3, so x squared minus 4x plus 3. Then for the quadratic formula, because the answer fast. So now we have x and x, we have 3 and 1. We have a minus and minus. So our x values, x will equals to 1 and then x will equals to 3. So therefore, its turning point is 1 map something. We have to take 1, some substitute over f, some substitute over original. Then ngapha sino 3 map, sithatha 3, some substitute lapha. Masithatha 3 sim substitute sothola 0. Reason ukuthi sithola 0 iyiphi? Ukuthi once you have ama x-intercept afanayo, chaza ukuthi one of the turning points will be the same as lauma x-intercept. Yabo chaza ukuthi kune touch and turn. Yabo chaza ifike iyathinta iyajika iphinde iyathinta futhi at the same point. So it's touch and turn. So masubstitute u1 la, masubstitute u1 we get 4. Substitute u1 we get 4. Then for point of inflection, we take the second derivative. So let's derive it. So point of inflection, we must derive the second time. Must derive minus 1 over 6x minus 12. We must make the second derivative until no 0. Because over 6x minus 12. 12 of is 6x, then x is equals to 2. Then point of inflection meaning what it's to map something. Then now we have to plot, we have to sketch y-intercept 0 map 0 nanya. X-intercept 0 map 0 nanya lapha. 3 map 0 1 2 3 nanya lapha. 3 map 0 nanya lapha. Right. Turning point 1 map 4 1 1 2 3 4 nanya lapha. For a turning point and follow cross, so that I won't make a mistake with my figure corner. I'll know what's in GK. Another turning point is 3 map 0 nanya lapha. Ngifaka cross. Point of inflection is somewhere lapha 2. So I'm going to tell you to substitute lapha ngizothola i-value, but we can still sketch a graph without knowing the point of inflection. So la once we sketch a graph, we know our graph is positive, meaning which is on rising. Ukuba i-graph yethu i-negative, ibizoshona kanje phansi. So once we draw ibizosuka la, ifike lapha iyajika ku-cross, ifike lapha iyajika bese so. Yeah, so this is how we plot. Point of inflection at somewhere lapha again. Right, so let's go for removal, then we're going to plot the second one. Now at the second graph, second equation, we have to plot g at x now. So first things first, y-intercept. For y-intercept, we must make x 0. So y-intercept, we must make x equal 0. So ngifaka 0 la, ngifaka 0 la, ngifaka 0 la, salu 18. So kuzoba nobani 18. And then for x-intercept, we should make y equal 0. So now over minus x cubed minus 4x squared plus 3x plus 18. Yeah, so now we have to do inspection first. Inspection, we substitute like we sizama ukuthola ifactor eqala. So instead of x sifaka 1, then sifuna i-value ka-x ezosikhiphela i-answer engu-0. Ne? Because we know ukuthi wonke ama-factors kumele akhiphe u-y abubani u-0, no? So if senze inspection la, we get ukuthi x is equals to 2. So where's inspection and check. X is equals to 2. So because now we have x minus 2. Then let's solve what is on the brackets. So we use a synthetic division or long division. We prefer a synthetic because it's quick. You need to see fagalanas, coefficients. So large is on minus 1, then minus 4, then 3, then 18. Then the factor oyitholile. So first things first, we bring down minus 1. 2 times minus 1 goes to minus 2. Low and low goes to minus 6. 2 times minus 6 goes to minus 12. Low and low goes to minus 9. 2 times minus 9 goes to minus 18. Low and low goes to 0. So we know low hammer of x squared, low hammer of x, low yana, hammer of x raised by 0. So largest one, no minus x squared minus 6x minus 9. Then margin value we have to factorize law. So we can take out a common factor negative in a pi, then so factorize in the positive. Or we can just factorize it as it is. So must factorize because minus x over no x over no 3 over no 3. Then minus 3 minus so minus double plus. So you have factors. But you can use quadratic formula la to my answers. So our x values, x will equals to 2, and then x will equals to minus 3, and then x will equals to minus 3. So our x-intercept wethu bani 2 map 0, minus 3 map 0, minus 3 map 0. Right. And then for the turning point, we know what we have to derive. We must derive our part over g prime. G prime will equals to 1 minus 3x squared minus 3x squared minus 8x plus 3. Then we make the derivative equals to 0 minus 8x plus 3. Then we have to factorize log. Must we factorize them? Okay, we can just divide by negatives. Okay, we will divide by negatives over plus, over minus. So must factorize over 3x over x, over 3 over 1. But you can use quadratic formula. So lambs over negative should be positive 3 over negative. So therefore, so x only no 1 over 3. So x only no minus 3. So its turning point here will be 1 over 3 map. Then now comes over it's negative 3 map. But since we have our x-intercepts which are the same, meaning which one of the turning points will be the same as the x-intercept. So 1 over 3, some substitutes originally, but some substitutes to 500 over 27. Right. So now we can go and plot a graph. 0 and 18. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, let's say, now 18 with 2. So this is 18. 2 map 0. 1, 2. Now 2 map 0. Minus 3 map 0. So 1, 2, 3. Minus 3 map 0. 9 and then for the turning point, minus 3 map 0. 1 over 3, it's like 0.3, which is a positive. So 0.3, 500 over 27, we have found 18.5. So now 18, now 19, now 18.5. So must draw again, this is over. Since in negative because of the color phezulu ishone phansi, right? So iqala phezulu ishone phansi ifike ijikela ikhuphuke ijikela esihamba kanjalo. So this is how we draw OG. Okay, the last graph. This one is kind of different. So for y-intercept, we must make x 0. So y-intercept, if we make x 0, kuzosala banana minus 1. Then for x-intercept, we should make y 0. So kuzoba 0 equals to minus x cubed minus 1. We transpose lona. Kuzoba minus 1, sifake cube root. Then x will equal to minus 1. So because with x-intercept, it's minus 1 left 0. For turning point, we must derive. Our possible k prime at x, which is equal to minus 3x squared, and then we make derivatives here to 0, minus 3x squared, divide by negative, x is equal to 0. So the turning point will be 0. Map, sithatha 0. Okay, sifake root futhi nalana. So this is how we draw OG. Okay, the last graph. This one is kind of different. So for y-intercept, we must make x 0. So y-intercept, if we make x 0, kuzosala banana minus 1. Then for x-intercept, kodwa after dividing ufake square root, answer will be 0. Okay, start to 0 simfake lapha kusala bani? Minus 1. So turning point is 0 map minus 1. Point of inflection now. Point of inflection. Point of inflection. We take the second derivative. Second derivative should use over k prime prime, which will equal to minus 6x. Second derivative we equate it to 0. Minus 6x divided by minus 6 divided by minus 6. Then we have a point of inflection which is x is equals to 0. If it starts with 0 simfaka lapha, the point of inflection will be 0 map minus 1. So it's turning point, the point of inflection uyafana. So angithi point of inflection ila ekuhlukana khona igraph, turning point ila igraph ejika khona. So makufana chaza ukuthi that's why kune turning point A1, yabo. So cha kahle kahle yabo lo iba la, lo iba la. So the graph iba something like this, yabo. Yokuthi there is a turning point and there is also a point of inflection, yabo, at one point. If the graph isuka phezulu, yabo nakhona kuzoba like angithi graph isuka phezulu ifuna ukwehla, so kuzoba into ethanda ukuma kanje. So awuthi siplot le graph sibone 0 map minus 1, 0 map minus 1, nahanya lapha minus 1 map 0, nahanya lapha 0 map minus 1 turning point, nahanya lapha point of inflection, nahanya lapha. So siyabona igraph yethu ayibonakala ukuthi imele itshaye kanjani. But once you have, or once you get a turning point, that is the same as a point of inflection. Just know ukuthi kuzokwenzakala the condition here. So igraph yethu is negative, obviously iqala somewhere lapha phezulu, yabo kumele ihambe kanje. So obviously izoqala kanje. And then mayithi sizojika bese ila yabo iyaqhubeka ishona phansi. So this is how we sketch this one.